selection and speciation revolve around evolution. For now, we will define evolution as descent with modification. So long before Darwin's time, it was thought that species were perfect and unchanging creations of God. This view was still very popular when Darwin began to argue for and research evolution. Darwin drew information from scientists studying fossils, or paleontologists. One paleontologist, however, Cuvier, was against evolution. He advocated catastrophism, the principle that events in the past occurred suddenly and caused the destruction of species. Anyways, there was one man before Darwin that proposed a mechanism for how life changed over time. He was incorrect, but still, he tried. The man's name was Lamarck. The first of his two principles he used to explain his findings was use and disuse. This was the idea that parts of the body that are used extensively become larger and stronger, while those that aren't used deteriorate. The second principle was inheritance of acquired characteristics, which stated that an organism could pass the modifications from use and disuse to its offspring. Darwin proved Lamarck wrong. In 1831, Darwin embarked from England on the Beagle. His mission was to chart poorly known stretches of the South American coastline. While the ship's crew surveyed the coast, Darwin spent most of his time on the shore. He observed and collected thousands of South American plants and animals. One of his most important research points was the Galapagos Islands. Here he observed finches that resembled species living on the South American mainland. Most, however, were not known from anywhere else in the world. What Darwin had been observing were adaptations, or inherited characteristics of organisms that enhance their survival and reproduction in specific environments. Darwin realized that explaining such adaptations was essential to understanding evolution. His explanation of how adaptations arise centered on natural selection. Natural selection is a process in which individuals that have certain inherited traits tend to survive and reproduce at higher rates than other individuals because of those traits. For example, think of a species of butterflies. Some have a trait for orange coloration, and some have a trait for opaque and dark coloration. These butterflies live in a dark area. Thus, the predators will see and target the orange butterflies more than the other butterflies because the orange butterflies stand out and are easier targets. With the orange butterflies being eaten more than the opaque dark butterflies, the orange butterflies become increasingly rare. This also means the trait for orange coloration is becoming less common. This is natural selection working against a trait that does not allow for the highest reproductive success. In other words, natural selection supports the term survival of the fittest. Natural selection is one of Darwin's 5 theories of evolution. Natural selection was Darwin's most famous theory. It states that evolutionary change comes through the production of variation in each generation and differential survival of individuals with different combinations of these variable characters. These variations also play a key role in what is called speciation. Speciation is the formation of new and distinct species in the course of evolution. There are 2 main types of speciation: sympatric speciation and allopatric speciation. Sympatric speciation is the process through which new species evolve from a single ancestral species while inhabiting the same geographic region. So basically, all that needs to happen for sympatric speciation is genetic separation. Suppose some insects cluster on and around roses to mate and lay eggs, while others cluster around daisies. These 2 plants may not always flower at the same time. The population will gradually diverge into 2 interbreeding subsets, even though they all live in the same environment. Allopatric speciation is just speciation by geographic isolation. In this mode of speciation, something major happens in the environment that prevents 2 or more groups from mating with each other regularly, eventually causing that lineage to speciate. Well, that's it for our video on natural selection and speciation. I hope that it helped you. Bye.